Well, back now to violent crime in the U.S. and the question of how rising crime and the growing defund the police movement could impact liberal-run cities in the upcoming elections. Our political panel joins us now. Fox News political analyst John Caldwell and Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall. Welcome to you both. We've been talking about crime ad nauseum because it's topic one in New York City and across much of the country. And, you know, New York City, you've got shootings up 64%. I want to show this video while I'm talking again. Did you see this? You see the numbers right there. And look at the middle. You know, Portland, Oregon, 533%. You just see it's across the country going up. Just this video I want to show in New York City, the gang member going after another gang member, and you've got young kids who are almost caught in this, which is why, Gianno, you have a New York City former captain, Eric Adams, expected to do very well in the mayoral Democratic primary tomorrow. I got to believe across the country when you see video like this, Gianno, that it does not bode well for progressive candidates. Gianno.
Oh, okay. I thought the video was being shown. Okay, copy that. Yeah. So truly, this is going to negatively impact progressives, Democrats, the defund the police movement. If you just look at the numbers, a Fox News poll recently showed that 73% of Americans believe that there's more crime in 2021 than there was in 2020. We know that New York City was defunded by $1 billion, and we saw since that defunding, shootings up 166%. If you look at places like Minneapolis is another example, they were defunded and homicides went up 60%. And they didn't have the resources to even investigate it. It's been a complete mess. Now, this bodes well for Republicans. We know that Republicans have been outpacing Democrats in terms of fundraising. We also know that in order for Republicans to take back the House of Representatives, all they need to do is flip half a dozen seats. And Democrats, a lot of those within the party have been complaining about the defund the police movement because they know it's hurting their party.
Yeah, are you worried, Leslie?
No, I'm not worried because we also have, you may have more money right now, but it depends on what race. 1, 2, we have the enthusiasm. And 3, it's not just about defunding the police. Let's look at these cities: Jacksonville, Miami, Oklahoma City, Fort Worth. They are Republican mayors in Republican states that have Republican governors that did not defund the police, and they have Oklahoma City, for example, a higher than national average increase in crime. Increase in crime is going to be a problem, quite frankly, for some incumbents on both the left and the right. I do think just the majority of my party, like me, who are centrist moderates, actually have more strength. And many, former President Obama, President Biden, myself, have all said the message of defund the police was not such a good idea, as we're seeing from Eric Adams. But remember, Eric Adams may talk about putting some money into the police, but when he was a police officer himself and leading the charge, he pushed back against the police and the department, and he is in favor of some things that are looked at as more progressive, like closing Rikers, for example.
Yeah, the message of defund the police has not done well for the Democratic Party. I want to move on to Iran now. Iran's High Court Chief Justice Ibrahim Raisi is now the president-elect there. He's the same man, by the way, who ordered the execution of thousands of protesters back in the 80s, more in 2012, and now you have Joe Biden wanting to get back into a potential deal with them. The Wall Street Journal editorial board writes the following: the folly of the Obama and now Biden administrations is believing that the leaders in Tehran want Iran to be a normal country. They don't. They run a government that wants to spread its religious revolution to the rest of the world by whatever means possible. There is very little evidence, Gianno, that Iran wants to behave.
No, and I mean, you can tell that by this just past week election. We saw that all the serious candidates for this particular race were barred from running. In addition, we saw the lowest voter turnout at 48% since the start of the republic. So we know that with this particular individual who has no love for the Western nations, no love for the United States of America, who wants to reinstate the Iran deal, and he doesn't want to meet with Joe Biden. And at this particular point, why should we trust them with anything, especially when they're looking to enrich, or rather they said in April that they were enriching uranium at 60%, almost at the 90% mark where it becomes weapons grade. We can't trust them, and we shouldn't be entering into another deal with them.
And trust is the key word there, Leslie, because, I mean, let's face it, Hezbollah is still very active in Lebanon. Hamas still very active, as we recently found out, in Gaza, both backed by Iran, and there is no evidence they are about to kind of give it up.
No, I would agree, but you just don't say, I'm not going to have any kind of a negotiation regarding, nuclear weapons and the building of nuclear weapons. Look, right now is the key opportunity, because what you have is you have a very poor economy in Iran. You have a very conservative elected official that's coming in. And in a sense, what could happen is it strengthens the Biden administration's positioning, because the conservatives can blame the moderates for the deal that was cut and then take credit for the economic growth that follows after they are in office.
Or does it benefit bad behavior? That's the question everybody's asking. John O'Leslie, thank you.
Thank you, Trace.
Thank you.